Welcome to Talk Dirt to Me, where two farmers shatter myths and take on the top issues facing America's farmers. Here's your hosts, Logan and Bobby Lee.
What's up, everybody?
Yes, another wonderful, hot, dry evening here in West Tennessee.
Yep. I think there's a chance that the dry and all that could break. It looks like I think Tuesday, this coming
Yeah, I
Tuesday.
noticed next week they're doing that annoying thing where it's like a 30% chance every day.
Yep.
I'm like, come on, guys, which I would assume as we get closer to next week, they'll kind of narrow it down to when it is and isn't going to rain. But yeah, which I think I may have mentioned last week, we're a D2 drought now, so we're considered severe. But on the new
Really?
drought monitor this week, a lot of West Tennessee is now at D3.
Really?
Uh, I wouldn't be surprised if Tipton County is included in D3 by next week, even if we get a little rain, because that comes out. Well, it comes out on Thursdays, but it's official like on Tuesday. Yeah, we could get. Well, we got that inch of rain 2 weeks ago, and our drought status has worsened since
I'll
then.
tell you. Well, that's what we were talking with one of the guys that's helping us, and he was talking about like it didn't even get muddy. It rained
Yeah,
an inch and it didn't even get muddy. It just basically was just evaporated.
I mean that's the only rain we've had in 2.5 months. So
Yeah. Yeah,
the
we're going
most. I
like
mean,
79 days, aren't we?
yeah, it's got to be. Yeah, because I don't remember when exactly it was. It was very first of July, somewhere right around that time. Yeah, I have not cut my yard since like somewhere around July 10th.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Yeah, Marcy did tell me I needed to weed eat. But yes, the grass, I'm digging it from that aspect. I'm not having to mow the yard, but yeah,
yeah, mine's kind of to the point where the Bermuda's not really growing, but it's headed out. Like I probably ought to mow it. Like it'll look a little better. But
ah,
I mean, we got that inch of rain. And if I jumped in there and mowed it like the next day, maybe. But now it's back to it's like hell. I'll die in a damn dust storm if I try to mow. But
yeah.
that's
Well,
what
and
I was baling, which I know is the same way for y'all in harvest, probably 10 times worse. But, baling hay is a pretty dusty job anyway.
yeah,
And I was on baler yesterday and I was filming some of it, had a camera set up, just watching me go across the field. I was like, my God, it's just a dust cloud. I mean, it's awful.
oh yeah, dude. That's how. I mean, it's been crazy. Our combines are black. Which corn is just. I love growing corn. Corn is the dirtiest crop to harvest. I feel like that's what Dad and I were saying. Like it will take a combine and turn it black. And
Yeah.
we started. We shelled about. I think we've shelled about 200 acres of my corn, and now we've swapped over to his beans because my corn is about. I got the rest of my corn is probably a week out.
Yeah.
We kind of caught up to it, so now we're cutting his beans over on Walkerfield, and they're doing okay. I think they're cutting like 50, mid 50s. But I have choked up my tailings elevator. Tonight it's running, and my stupid sensors aren't working on my tailings elevator. Well, apparently I had the concave opened a little bit too wide on the combine, and it threw a code and like was throwing like a full blown like alarm, and you couldn't okay it. Like it was the little stop sign, and when the stop sign comes up, it usually gets my attention on the combine. But it was like zero speed on tailings chain. So Mr. Tim was actually riding with me, our bourbon man, and I told him I was like that doesn't sound good because it would throw codes saying tailings is full. It's been doing that for several days because my sensors have gone bad. But it turns out tonight it was actually accurate. And so my freaking tailings elevator is just slam full of crap right now. And I had the kids with me because Marcy was at work. So we had to leave. So that's a
Yeah.
job for tomorrow. But yeah, it's dusty. Those beans are like, I think they're like 11% moisture, which is very dry. And man, I don't know. It's dry as a bone. Some people may be wondering, we are actually doing this one remotely because Bobby Lee's he's a little snotty, a little under the weather over there, and
Yeah.
we
Well,
can't risk contamination.
right. Well, that and my wife is still not home, so yeah, I feel like shit, just to put it bluntly. And it's 9:30. I don't know when she's gonna be home. I'll hear her pull up. The audience may hear my dogs barking when she pulls up, but I was like, I already feel like crap. Yeah, I don't want to be recording until midnight.
Yes. Yes. Well,
Well,
that,
and and I still, you still never told me who it was that thinks I work till 11 a.m. every day.
oh yeah,
Um, I will give them credit. I actually left work about 3:30 today.
feeling that bad.
Well, I mean, I wasn't just miserable, but I only had one more appointment. It was like real simple appointment, and one of the other doctors didn't have anything on their schedule at that time. So I told my brother, I was like, you know what, I'm out. Like, I'm not just going to sit around here for another 2 hours just to vaccinate a couple of puppies. One of y'all can take care of that. I
Yeah.
came home and took about an hour nap before I then had to be on dad duty. But yeah, I'm going to survive. It's I do feel kind of like a pussy, 'cause the whole like man cold thing, a cold will wipe out a man.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I think that's kind of all it is. I did take the test for the virus to remain unnamed, and it was negative. So
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think I've run a fever at any point. So I was pretty confident. I was like, I don't have that, but
yeah.
I
Well,
want to make sure.
I was about like that about 2 weeks ago, um, and I even had a sore throat. And you got the sore throat?
Well, it's better today. My throat. Trying like, yeah, yesterday morning I woke up, my throat. Oh yeah, it was awful.
Yeah,
Um,
that's how I was. I had to take Motrin at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like it was so bad it woke me up in the middle of the night.
yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know what it is. Now strep was going around, but I was like you, I took the COVID, the vid, whatever. I took the test and yeah, I was negative, but I don't know. But before we get in too much deeper, we got to tell our audience about a couple of things. Yeah, Bobby Lee's got the hat on. You need to go over to.
Yeah, agzagger.com. I used some of the BailNet wrap yesterday, just like I was talking about. I was actually looking at their website today. The BailNet wrap is always going to be one of their big things, but they've got a lot of bigger equipment. The rotary tillers, all kinds of bale spears, the quick hitches for your smaller tractors, 3-point hitch. Um, you never know what new they're going to have available online. You just need to go to agzagger.com, check it out, use that discount code, TalkDirt20, $20 off that $50 minimum order and free shipping. The free shipping still blows me away because a lot of that stuff it's big, it's bulky,
Oh
it's
yeah,
heavy, and yeah, but they can do it.
yeah, yeah. Man, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. um, sorry, I couldn't resist.
I, I didn't even really get it there at first.
You see it?
No,
Oh, did it only show up on my end? That's
it
the
must
lame.
have. Yeah, what is it?
This so Bobby Lee and I are sorry, we're recording, and on the side here it shows our names. What does your name show?
I typed it in as Bobby Lee. I don't know what it.
Does it still just show Bobby Lee?
I don't even. I don't even see where it has either of our names.
See, mine has like a stage. It shows the two names. It's changed.
Did you do that? Because whenever I move my mouse over my name,
Yeah, when you uh,
how did that get on there?
you did that, I guess.
No,
Have you seen the video?
it does. So now I'm like, there's some big conspiracies. So for those of you that aren't watching, it's a very unflattering name for me. But yeah, there's that viral video that went around with a guy. I guess it was during COVID, and he was having to
Court.
do a Zoom conference for his court date. And yeah, the judge is like, what the hell? And he claimed his sister set up his.
Yeah. Has
That,
Drew been on here? Was
huh?
it Drew? Did Drew do it? Was it your
No,
brother?
I mean, this is my computer. Like, I really have no, yeah, I really don't even have a good alibi. Yeah, because whenever I signed in, I said, type your name. And I typed in just Bobby Lee.
Well, it doesn't say that now.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
our audience is desperately wanting to know what the name is. It's
yeah.
it's a vulgar name. I'm ashamed of Bobby Lee for putting that on here.
I'm going to like email Squadcaster and tell them, like, this is unacceptable. Like, why would y'all?
Oh man. Also, guys, while y'all are on there on Agzaga, you can take a detour and go over to tractormat.com and get you a tractor mat for your combine, your tractors, any of those. They got awesome tractor mats, great quality, made in USA, and you use the code TALKDIRT, all caps, all one word, and save yourself 15%. And you're good to go. So do that. And yeah, guys, I mean, it's um, we also need y'all to yeah, we need y'all to go on and leave us ratings. We need 5-star ratings on Apple and Spotify. And then if you're watching this on YouTube, then we need you to go onto YouTube, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and comment below. Comment below what you think Bobby Lee's name is on the video.
Wait a second, it just changed.
What are you talking about?
All right, somebody's messing with us. Like this.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it has changed. Bobby Lee's got another vulgar name.
Well, this one ain't near as bad. It's just ass sniffer. But I mean, and I know nobody will believe me. Because I've been trying like crazy. I'm like, how do I change it back to Bobby Lee? That's really going to bother me. Like, not that I'm, people really think I'm an ass sniffer, but did you change it?
I don't know how. I don't know how to change it.
That's weird. All right. I'm gonna try to focus.
There we go. Well, I figured we would do some Q&As. We got a bunch. We got a bunch of emails, and I thought it'd be a little more lighthearted after the last ones that we've had. I was like, man, we've done some real heavy episodes, so we need to lighten the load a little bit. But I do want you guys to comment below and let us know what you think the terrible name is that Bobby Lee was named on here. All right.
I think that not the exact same name that guy had from that viral video.
It was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Or it was something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. All right. First email comes in from Wade. Wade says, love the podcast, boys. Always looking forward to Friday to listen. Question for Bobby Lee. Do you notice a difference in price of your cattle being implanted or non-implanted? Thanks, go Vols.
Yeah, go Vols. Tough one on Saturday.
Yeah, freaking Georgia, man. Dang it.
I was sitting in a softball tournament just like this, watching my phone. Yeah, it was tough. But so if you actually Corbett hit on this morning, and he was talking more about fat cattle. If you can get your cattle like verified, like you're home raising them, you're not implanting them. And I think you have to get them like third party verified as being non-hormone treated cattle. You can get a premium. Now, if you're a smaller producer, you're not selling like in full truckload lots. That may be a little trickier. But if you can put together full truckloads, say of, and you're selling your calves at 600 pounds, and you can market them that way, and you may need to call around, to different auction markets or folks, because you don't want to probably just take them to the local sale barn and say, hey, these are non-hormone treated.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. This would be like, I feel like you would sell these to like a specialty where they're going to sell it as
Yeah, you want to find a
non-antibiotic or
buyer.
hormone-free, that hormone-free beef type
Yeah,
thing.
you want to find a buyer like and say you're carrying them all the way out to 800-900 pounds. They're ready to go to a feed yard. Yeah, you want a cattle feeder to buy those that is then going to really push that as well. Because otherwise, it's not going to be worth it to them to pay the extra money, give you a premium. But there are premiums to be had there. Um, which those fat cattle, I mean, they're ready to go to slaughter, and they can run them through, and have, a meat packer buy them because they're going to package them as, for a market specifically for that.
Yeah.
Um, for us, my home raised calves, I don't have enough to put together full truckload lots. We buy other calves to kind of match up with ours,
Yeah.
graze them and do that, which I'm buying those as sale born calves. And so I can't, I mean, I guess I could seek out some that were maybe and buy some from somebody like him that was doing that. Um, but you're going to need to really make sure you check all the boxes in terms of having that all verified where yes, there will be a premium there because there can be. Um, you know, does it? Then the question is, does that extra premium you're getting kind of offset the fact that those calves probably aren't going to gain quite as efficiently because they are non-hormone treated? I mean, that's the reason we give the hormone. We don't give it just for the hell of it.
Now,
Um,
do you have, see, all right, I'm thinking of this from the standpoint of like conventional seed versus GMO seed. And the because I've been looking at, there's some different varieties right now. A lot of guys are actually going back to conventional because they're so expensive to
right,
get Roundup ready, and so they're going back to non-GMO. Well, you you can get a premium for non-GMO seed. Like it's about $1 and something per bushel on beans, but uh, you're going to lose some yield. And
right.
so I'm looking at this. All right, on the cattle side, all right, if they're not implanted, I guess what I'm thinking about is the ROI better or worse on that
Yeah,
versus
and
like
I don't know. I mean, that'd be a really good, like, if you were a big enough outfit where you could have, yeah, two groups that were otherwise identical, a control group and then a treated group,
yeah,
and see, yeah, how much more efficiently do they gain. It's it's just there are some hoops to jump through to get all that, official. And even if I was willing to do it, like I say, these calves are buying from Selborne, like I can't, like I don't know what was done to them. Um, Before I purchased them, and so they wouldn't qualify anyway. And you know, what I tell people is, unless you are doing all those things to market them specifically in that way, it makes no sense not to implant them. The implant doesn't cost much of anything. I could look it up, but I mean, it's just I don't know, like $1 or two a dose. I mean, less than $5 a head. And so if that increases your rate of gain at all, especially when feeder calves are what 340 or something a pound right now. Like,
yeah,
yeah, it pays off, no doubt.
yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
And they've proven that when it actually comes to the meat, the amount of hormone that is present in that meat is negligible. The difference because it's like
That
with
doesn't
Ralgro, I
matter.
believe it's estrogen.
It's not going to
The
matter to these people. The people that are buying that meat won't care. Uh, you know what I'm
well,
saying? Like they won't care.
right. Well, there. I mean, these are naturally occurring hormones,
Oh, I
so
got to
you'll
turn.
find them even in a non-hormone treated calf, and the difference is so negligible that I mean it's just it's kind of like a lot of these the organic, the non, it makes people
Marketing.
feel warm and fuzzy inside. I guess that
Yeah.
they're superior to the rest of us because they eat their meat that's not hormone treated or whatever. So
Yeah. It's just marketing, man. Good marketing. Wade, appreciate you writing in, man. If you got more questions, feel free to reach out. All right, the next one. This comes in from Will. Now, this question was asked back in August. And so I don't know when this is, but he said, do y'all plan on going to the Sun Belt Ag Expo in Georgia? I don't know when that is. Are you looking it up?
I can look it up here on my other screen. My wife went one time.
I have not been. I don't know. We've said we're going to start going to some things.
It is October 14th to 16th.
Okay. That's a very bad time. I will probably be full blown. Right. Well, I mean, we're full blown rolling right now.
Yeah, man, it's so hard for me to get away. The cows, the vet clinic, kids with sporting events of some kind. Like my wife does an excellent job of anytime the kids aren't. Like it's a rare weekend now that both kids are playing travel ball. Because I want to go to some football games.
Yeah.
Make it up to Knoxville. And oh yeah, we got the weekend Tennessee plays Oklahoma, one of our good remaining home games. Oh, there's a horse show that weekend. Like fantastic.
Nice. It's just where you want to be.
Man, my ability to get away.
Yeah.
Is I mean.
So Will, that sounds like we probably. I mean, like I said, that's
yeah,
a bad time.
I am out. I can guarantee you, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah, I would too, and I would. October, September through November is a hard time for me to go anywhere.
We need to go ahead and make a commitment to go to the National Farm Machinery Show.
We do.
That's February. It's always right around Valentine's Day.
Only bad thing about it is it falls on my children's birthday, but we can go around it.
Yeah, but say you can celebrate weekend before, weekend after.
Yeah. So no, we probably will not be there, but we do plan to be in Kentucky, in Louisville.
Like I said, my wife has been. I think it's a really good show. Like I forget which company she was with at the time, but at one point in time, she hit up a lot of those big exhibit, type events.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Appreciate you writing in, Will. All right. The next one here. Oh, man, my list got all funky. Okay. This one comes in from Rick. Let's see. Hold on that one. All right. Here we go. Nate writes in. He said, boys, appreciate you reading my question on air about raising cattle on 10 acres. I'm in Maryland, by the way. Bobby Lee kept asking if that changes anything. Bobby Lee mentioned emailing his feed ratios. Would totally appreciate that if you could send it my way. I will. Let me see. All right, I just copied your email. I'll text it to Bobby Lee in just a second. Logan, any good cocaine recipes? I lost it when you said, if you don't use the code, you are gay. Thank you, boys. Look forward to the pod and YouTube every week. And all right, I got your email. I will get that to Bobby Lee. Cocaine recipes, man. I try to keep all that. I'm one of those like you don't share a good recipe because it's like something.
What I don't even know what he means by recipe. He's talking about like a consumption recipe. Because I would assume, again, just from movies and TV shows, hell, you just do it straight, right?
Yeah, man.
I guess some people lace it with other things. I don't necessarily recommend that. Well, then you've talked about the free basing versus I don't know.
Yeah. Well, man, unfortunately, I don't like to give away my recipes. They say you never kiss and tell, and that's kind of where I'm at. And hey, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, if you order from AgZaga or Tractor Mat and you don't use the code, I mean, you probably are gay. So, man, we do appreciate it. I have sent your email to Bobby Lee. He will get you that feeding ration. All right. Now, next email. Appreciate it, Nate. Ryan writes in. Hold on. Never mind. He was sending us something. All right. Ethan writes in. I'm not Ryan. That's funny. He wrote in right after Ryan. He said, I'm not Ryan, who wrote in last week, but I sent y'all a video and a picture on Facebook of a baler being pulled behind a rake. They're common here in Texas. We call them baler connection rakes. I believe Baylor Connection, the company, was the first to build them. I've built a few myself. It makes a world of difference in the hay business. Y'all keep it real, fellas. Love the show. So I think this is probably the dude that sent me one on Facebook, and it is pretty crazy. Like it's long. Like I was thinking that I'm like, that's got to be a long apparatus, and it was.
Yeah, you would definitely probably be better served in bigger, blocks of ground and fields than what I'm typically baling. To the other, like if I'm playing devil's advocate, sometimes we are right behind the rake with the baler. Sometimes we like to rake it, and then, especially if I haven't tethered it, let it sit there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
And when I'm a one-man show, it's going to anyway. After you've turned it over, let it dry just a little more. But yeah, otherwise, if you're one of those outfits, you're usually falling right behind the rake with the baler. Oh, absolutely. And you got good wide open, good running, where you got plenty of room to turn around and whatnot. I'm just thinking about some of my fields. Like,
yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking when I watched that video. I haven't cut hay or baled hay in a long time, but I was thinking back to some of the fields and some of the necks and stuff you'd have to go into. I'm like, man, I don't know how you'd even get that thing around.
Yeah.
I mean, and some trees, like there's some spots you go around. Yeah, I'm like, man, it's kind of like there's guys with 60-foot planters, and there's some dudes out here with 60-foot planters. Man, I got some farms that, you couldn't use a 60-foot planter. Like even my 40-foot planter's like scraping the trees on some of them. So, but it is pretty cool. I had never seen that until he sent that. So, appreciate you, Ryan. All right, our next one. Or wait, that was Ryan or Nate. I don't remember. Whoever that was, we appreciate you right now. All right, I gotta save that one. That one's important. All right, John writes in. Thank you guys for the weekly show. I am a wine grape farmer here in Northern California. We do about 1,200 acres and range in size from a quarter acre to 80 acres. Our big tractor is only about 54 inches wide since most vine rows are 6 to 7 feet wide. Mostly Kubota and New Holland specialty tractors, but I still use a 1947 Caterpillar D2 for disking my place a few times a year. Just wanted to let you know a 27-year-old grape farmer from Napa, California tunes in every week. Thanks, guys. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I just think that's pretty cool, man. Like, we'll have to get old. John needs to make a trip to Tennessee. And I don't know shit about that.
That is a whole different world. Hey, I support his industry from time to time. My wife definitely does.
Yeah.
Me, it just depends on what we're eating. I enjoy a good Cabernet with a steak every now and then, Merlot. I'm kind of a red wine kind of guy. My wife is big on, especially when it's hot outside, I guess, drinking white wine. Apologies to him if he grows a lot of white wine grapes, but I think white wine is
gay.
Horse piss. Yeah.
Yeah, white wine's pretty gay. Yeah, I'll drink some red wine occasionally, but if I drink very much red wine, I will get an absolute pounding headache. Like,
you don't have to drink the whole bottle, Logan.
Well, I can drink, man. Like my wife, it's funny. My wife she's an evolved wine drinker. So when we were first dating, she would drink the super sweet, like Stella Rosa or whatever. Like it was really sweet.
I definitely can't drink that.
Well, and I liked it then because it was like, it tasted like grape juice or something to me. And I wasn't a big wino. Well, as she got older, now she likes the driest, like red wine. She doesn't drink a lot of wine. She actually drinks whiskey now when she drinks. But like she likes, and I got her drinking it over at the rocks, like just like I do. Like she drinks.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, Now she goes to
See,
sleep.
I think my wife got sick on whiskey one too many times in college. She's not a bourbon girl at all. She tequila. She'll drink her seltzers and a beer, but then she really likes her wine.
Marcy likes bourbon and gin. And yeah,
We
that's
need to ask him where his grapes end up, like what brands, because I'll and what varietals. Because
support.
we of course buy a lot of wine just at the local liquor store, but some of the kind of more specialty stuff that I can't find right around here, we'll order. And so I bet I can find whatever. Yes, support. I
Yeah,
want to support the people that are supporting us.
that's right. John,
Yeah, write us back in. Tell us what we may find your grapes in.
yeah, yeah, let us know.
If it is a
That-
white wine, I'll buy it. My wife will drink it.
there you go. Yeah, appreciate you, John. Like I said, we need to get you down to Tennessee. I'd love to hear about wine farming. Okay. Next one. Here we go. All right. That's these dates are crazy. Okay. Will writes in, y'all should try to get a logger on the show. After talking to my father-in-law, who is a logger, he said he's still logging for the same money that he was back in 94 when he started. And they're exempt from all the ag payments. The mills are always shutting down, so they can't haul any wood. And now mills won't take any wood that the land is going into ag. You can build a house or anything else, but if you want to turn your land into ag, the mills won't take it. I personally don't think farmers should get payments from the government, but I think grain buyers should have a minimum they have to pay for everybody to make a profit. Hold on. I personally don't think farmers should get payments from the government. Oh, I got you. But I think grain buyers should have a minimum they have to pay for everybody to make a profit. Love the show. Keep it up. Also, would like to meet y'all at the Sunbelt Ag Expo in Georgia if y'all are planning on going. Yeah, man. Like I said, sorry.
Sounds like we should have gone.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You're right. That one's a bad time of year. We need to go ahead and make a commitment to the National Farm Machinery Show.
Yep.
Can let listeners know ahead of time. If anybody's planning on being there,
we'll be there. We will be there.
Which that reminds me, because I know somebody had written in, I guess it was last week, wanted to know if I was going to be in Knoxville for the Georgia game. Of course, I wasn't. I am planning tentatively on being in Starkville, Mississippi next weekend. Not this weekend, Saturday, but next Saturday. So don't know that I'm going to get there in time to, do a lot of tailgating and mingling and whatnot before the game. But if somebody's been down there and wants to try to catch up, I'm planning on being there. My son and I, at least.
Yeah, flag him down. I as far as his remark on the don't think farmers should get payments, but I think grain buyers should have a minimum. That's what actually me and Dad have talked about it. I don't know how it would ever work, but Dad has always said there ought to be a floor that it can't go below. Like he's like, really and truthfully, they shouldn't be able to pay any less than like whatever, $11 for beans and $4.50 for corn or something. But that's tricky. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, that would make me nervous in a lot of ways. Like, because at the end of the day, I want to say we just need supply and demand. Like, figure out what that supply needs to be, and let's meet that demand. And obviously, the problem right now is we're just, because our export markets aren't there that traditionally would be there. Yeah, our supply is far exceeding demand. That's created, the terrible prices we have right now. And yeah, we generally, of course, it's probably been the most common theme we've talked about since we started this podcast. We'd love to get away from a system where there needed to be any kind of a payment.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in a situation this year where there's absolutely, one of two things. Either there's going to have to be a payment, or there's going to be a whole lot of guys go broke.
Yeah.
And we talked about it, 2 or 3 weeks ago, about how that's going to affect everyone far beyond just the farmer. And I'll tell you, I've seen or just noticed, because obviously this has been for the last 4 or 5 months within the ag community, it's been a topic. It seems like, which of course our, smaller community, it's not totally dependent on the ag economy, but it's a pretty big thing here in West Tennessee. And I'm starting to see or hear more and more people that aren't directly involved in ag that are talking about it and understanding it. And so, yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's
I think now that people are seeing we're not going to yield our way out of this.
yeah.
Not here locally. Maybe some parts of the country that do have just an exceptional year, but for the most part, reality's setting in that folks are going to lose money again for the second year in a row.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm hearing. Like I've been talking to a bunch of farmers. I was actually working to put together, well, first, Will, appreciate you writing in. Get
Yeah, and that's interesting with the
in
logging
February.
industry. I wonder, so the mills won't take lumber that's being hauled in from land, I guess it's being like clear cut to being put into ag production.
Sounds like that's
I
what
wonder if that's because they know that long term that's bad for the timber industry.
probably because it's not going to be, it'll be took.
Right, that's the last time that land will ever,
Yeah.
yield any timber,
Yeah.
or at least for the foreseeable future. And so, yeah, I wonder if the mills are in a situation where they just don't need that much lumber right now, and so they're selectively saying, well, we're going to turn down loads if it's coming from folks that aren't in it for the long haul. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I know that, like Bobby Lee said, man, we've always generally been anti-payment. And I've had this conversation. I've talked to multiple farmers because I was actually trying to get a group of guys together. I had made my mind up that we were going to go to DC. I even looked, and like the first week of October, the Senate and Congress both had a session planned. And so most of them would be there. So, like, I had talked to several local guys about going to DC. And the flights were actually cheap. They're like $200 round trip flight to DC. And hey, if a guy's listening, he's like pumped up, shoot me a message because I'm still scheming some stuff. But I talked to one of our buddies at farms, and he's like totally against the payments. And he's like, man, we need markets, we need this, and he actually has a list of things that he thinks would correct the course, and they're great. Like it's great ideas. But to me, I'm like, right now we have to stop the bleeding. Like we said, payments every year. One, I think you can't really build a business on the back of getting a government payment because you don't ever know, one, how much it's actually going to be, and it just gets abused. So I am not for payments year to year to year, but until we have markets and things to use the grain stuff, we really don't have a choice this year, and we're in too deep. Like at this point, we are in too deep. Like ag is bleeding out right now. And so we don't have a choice. So that's where I'm like, man, right now we need sustainable markets, but we also got to have some way to stop the freaking bleeding.
I figured out how to change my name back.
But got to have a way to stop the bleeding. As vehemently as I have protested payments in the past, I am on the payment train right now because I'm seeing the pain. Like we have good friends that are actually good farmers that are in dire need. I am in very bad shape. Like, so.
Yeah, I was about to say and I think I know what you're talking about, but I think it's far beyond them. I mean, I know it is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've talked to a bunch of guys that, they're all universally like, man, I don't know how we get out of this without a payment. And I talked to a guy today, and this dude is not running new equipment. Like he's got old equipment, and all right,
somebody is fucking with us. All right,
what are you talking about?
My name keeps changing, and I'm not doing it. I'm sorry for the audio only audience, and I guess surely nobody else will be able to see what. Like all I could, like I'm not doing it. Somebody's hacked into our feed or something.
What does it say now?
Taint kisser. I figured out how to change. That's about the fourth different name they've given me, and it's bothering me way more than I should. But yeah, I'm worried about our internet security now.
It's China. Yeah, I don't even remember that movie. But no,
It's the NCBA. Those assholes are doing it.
it probably is.
Trying to think, what enemies might we have?
Well, NCBA probably does not like us. But yeah, man, that's my thing. Like I've got to make a video. I was telling Bobby, I got to make a video tomorrow, and I'm basically petitioning the politicians to provide some assistance to the farmers right now. And I mean, I'm kind of the point now. It's like I'm swallowing the pride part because I think there is a level of pride. Like a lot of farmers, especially, are bad about like, I don't need no help kind of thing. And it's like, well, by God, this year we actually need some help. I mean, and I'm okay with saying it. So, I mean, I figured up last year the losses that I had last year. If all my equipment would have been paid for, I still was going to lose money. Like I lost more than all my equipment cost. So like that's what me and our insurance man were talking about. And he's like, dude, if all your stuff was paid off last year, you still would have took a hit. So it's not even from a bad move on equipment. So yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see a floor. The bad thing to me with a floor is you would see companies like, and I'm not talking about Helena, Nutrient, or those, because I've got buddies at those, and I can tell you that we've talked about this. They're essentially, they have to basically do what Corteva and Bayer and Syngenta, they're at the mercy of the big corporations that
they're just a distributor. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I can tell you, my guys at Helena that I deal with all the time, they are feeling the pain like I am. Like they're nervous.
It's John Deere just had a bunch more layoffs.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, they're nervous, man. So that's where it's like, I just don't know. Like, I don't know, man. I'm like, we got to see. What
yeah, somebody's screwing with us.
What's it say?
Why do? And for some reason they can't. They're not messing with your name. They're just messing with mine.
What is your name?
It's now ass balls. I mean, they're obviously like in 8th grade, but.
Oh man, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know, guys. Y'all we gotta just hang in there. And like I said, just swallow the pride. And like I said, if you need some assistance, then it is what it is. All right. Appreciate that right in. Next one comes in from Nick. Nick says, what's going on, guys? I'm out here in northwest Kansas. You guys were talking about grazing wheat cover crops. What I do around here is plant a lot of milo or fence milo stocks. And kind of the rule of thumb is 1 acre per cow per month. For my fall cows, we'll plant triticale and graze that out. Those mama cows milk so good on that. I would say 80% of all ranchers in this area graze stocks in the winter, corn or milo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've done, how many times have you done triticale? You've done it a few times.
Yeah, I've had it in a mix when we were messing with winter annuals. I think I did it 2 or 3 years. And I think every year we had triticale in there. We usually had like 4 species. We had like some oats, some triticale, like some brassicas, like some turnips, that sort of thing. But oh yeah, it's a really good forage.
Yeah.
I know some people chop it, for silage or haylage in the spring. But yeah, really good to graze out. Which we're not in a big cattle area. Anybody around here planting wheat, they're not planting it to graze cattle on. For the most part, very, very little. Some people will drill a little wheat into some pasture maybe. And I think that's one reason. There's just not a lot of cows around here. Most of our cropland is not fenced. I also go back to just we have so much rainfall and it gets so damn muddy. It's
Yeah.
not oftentimes our ground doesn't freeze up. Even when we get winter weather, it snows and the snow may hang around 4 or 5 days, then it melts, and then the ground is just
rotten.
a mess.
Yeah.
And so if you don't have them spread out, they're just gonna. I mean, it's just gonna turn into a muddy mess. So.
Gotcha. Yeah. No, I love the thought of like grazing cover crops, but like we said, man, I don't know. I think that there's some logistics that would be difficult. All right. Jacob writes in, love the show, guys. I'm a grain farmer here in central Kentucky, and I listen to you guys every week. I'll get to the point of this message. All right, I saw this one earlier. This one's pretty funny. Am I the only one who thinks Bobby Lee is Riley Green's twin without the big muscles, of course? No homo. Hope you have a safe and plentiful harvest, Logan. Good. God bless Jacob from Kentucky. All right, so I have actually had another person tell me that you look like a skinny Riley Green.
So I've had people tell me that. Yeah. Which I didn't really know who he was the first time somebody told me that. I was like, I don't listen to enough like country radio these days. Now I am aware of who he is. Good looking dude. I will take that as a compliment.
You won't take it as a compliment.
Huh?
You said you won't take it as a compliment.
No, I will.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that'd be a compliment.
I would say he is a much better looking man than me, but I'll take the comparison.
So you need to start pumping iron, and you can give Riley Green a run for his money.
Yeah, because he is pretty jacked.
Yeah, he's in good shape. Yeah, and the women do like him, but he's got the stash. It's the mustache.
Yeah, I've kind of let all mine. I kind of decides like hunting season's coming. I want to go full like, just Grizzly Adams like.
That's what I'm doing. I told Marcy the other day, I'm about to just grow mine back out like a Viking. All right, appreciate it, Jacob. Yeah, Bobby Lee, he said his wife shouts Riley to him when they're making love violently. Trent writes in. All right, let's see. Okay, this is let me see. He shared a Facebook link. Well, I cannot get this to open up. Hey, send me that again if you're listening to this. Thing. Yeah, it won't show me what it is. I got a feeling it's like the rescue thing because he says wanted to share this with y'all about the volunteer fire department that I'm on. I've heard different podcasts talk about grain bin safety and rescue equipment. It was great to see how such a small community came together and raised enough money to build this. It was local ag businesses, banks, farmers, and everyone in between that made it happen. Fortunately, the guy was saved, and that's what brought all this on. Look forward to hearing y'all's podcast every Friday. I have the Facebook link in the pictures. That shows the picture in the article. If it don't work, let me know. All right, it did not work. Send it to me again because I'm curious. I've seen that grain bin rescue thing. Have you ever seen they can like put the thing down around you? And I guess they like suck the grain out around you. Because even actually, I think that's what the latest Bush Light, I think they were farm rescue. Isn't that the grain thing?
Yeah.
Because I bought some of the farmer Bush Light or whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it, Trent. Yeah. If you would send me that again, because it did not work. Last one here. This is Jacob. He says, Logan and Bobby Lee are the best. Look at this. Has anyone else made a comment how Bobby Lee looks and sounds like Riley Green, just without the big muscles? Awesome show, you guys. It's almost like we are family. Please have a safe harvest, Logan. And you sound like him. So that you could potentially have a career in country music.
If he ever did like movies, I could be like his stunt double, maybe.
Yeah, you could be a stunt man.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, and again, I hate that this is distracting us. They're changed your name now.
Oh, I see that. Mine's flattering.
Yeah, I was about to say, whoever's doing this shit. All right, it's somebody watching as we're doing this, and I don't know. Like, you somehow have it because now my name is Riley Lee.
Riley Lee. I see that.
So is this somehow being broadcast like we're live doing this?
No, this is not.
You're doing it? Okay. I thought so, because I'm over here on my other screen. I'm like,
He's like, how is someone infiltrating?
how does my name keep changing? It says can be changed by any other participants. Okay. So
I've just been tripping out. I just knew you would know it was me immediately whenever I made it the first one. And
okay.
but the fact
Okay, yeah, because I was like, man,
you were like somebody is
the
messing.
government's watching us. Okay.
Dude, I started having fun with it then. I'm like, oh man, he thinks that someone's like messing with us. Yeah, it was me. It was me.
The Russians.
The Russians, NCBA collusion. Yeah, man, we definitely do got to go to some expos. We've said that, and I went to the Farm and Gin show. Did you go this year? I don't remember.
I have never been to the trade show. I've been
Okay.
again when my wife was more directly in the industry. One of her companies had one of the big like dinners party thing. I've been to kind of that part of it, but never actually to the trade show. And it's
Really?
45 minutes from me.
Yeah.
So here I am saying I'm going to go to the National Farm Machinery Show, 6 hours away. And
Well, I've not been to that one, but my parents have gone several times. And they talk about how awesome it is, and I go to the gin show every year.
I've been to Louisville. Louisville's a fun city.
Yeah.
I imagine it'd be a blast during the farm show. But then we need to do an NFR trip.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Well, that's a good time of year. Now that's my wife and my son's birthday.
There you go.
Is always usually the first weekend in NFR. But man, I've been telling my wife for years, like, we're gonna go out there for your birthday. And it's what, I guess it's 3 weeks before Christmas. So there's a little bit of, you got, sometimes maybe you got some early, office Christmas parties, stuff like that going on. But I was like, no, we just need to do it. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things, like, especially when my kids are out of the house and like maybe I got more free time. Like, that's something I almost want to make like a yearly thing. Like,
That would be cool. Well, that's what, it was funny. That's one regret I have because I've only been to Vegas once. And whenever I was out there, it was the week of the NFR. And the guy that I was out there doing the podcast with, he could have gotten me tickets.
You're wearing his hat.
Do what?
You're wearing his hat.
Hey, look at that. John Bertolo, man. Rest in peace, man. He was a good dude. He could have got me tickets. And I am Bobby Lee is a much better traveler than I am. I am a terrible traveler. I have crippling, terrible anxiety when I travel. And so I function, but I'm like a functioning insane person whenever I go out of town. And so I got to Vegas, and there was a buddy that was actually supposed to go to Vegas with me that had been there and was going to kind of be my liaison. Well,
like a tour guide.
Yeah. And then another one of my buddies was living in Vegas at the time. He was working for the UFC. And so I was even going to get to see the UFC Performance Institute. Like, he moved to Texas like 2 weeks before I went to Vegas. And then my buddy that was going to be my liaison there, he calls me like a week before and he can't go because something has come up in work. And so I'm like, crap. So I didn't puss out. I wanted to. Like, I really wanted to puss out. It didn't help that, like, my wife drove me to the airport, and it was like I had a late night flight. I got in Vegas at like 1 o'clock in the morning, but my daughter was crying her eyes out when we got to the airport. She did not want me to go. So I'm like, I'm already like, I'm homesick before I even leave. And she's bawling and all this. And I remember I got in the airport and I talked to Scott Valcourts, and I was sitting in the airport at like 9:30 in Memphis, and he texted me and I called him, and Scott travels all the time. And so I was like, dude, I'm like ready to go jump off a bridge. And he like talked me off the ledge. Well, I go, great time with John. And man, I want people to understand how this anxiety does me. I got out there and I was kind of excited. I'm like, well, whatever. I'll man up, and I had a couple of days in Vegas planned, and then I flew back home. Well, I did the podcast on Friday, and the guy, John, he had UFC fighters on. A UFC fighter was coming in right after me to do the show. I had terrible diarrhea. I'm gonna tell some unpleasant information. So I got up the morning, like I didn't sleep. When I say I got up, like I have insomnia when I travel. That's how bad it is. I don't sleep. And so I didn't sleep the whole night when I got there. I got there at freaking, like I said, 1 o'clock in the morning. It took like an hour to get through the damn rental car thing. And then I get to the hotel where I'm staying and my card won't work. And so I'm like, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. I'm trying to figure this out. I finally get a card to work. I get in my room probably 2:30 and I just don't sleep. And I got to go do a podcast at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I go without sleeping. Man, that morning as I'm getting ready to leave, I have terrible, my stomach is trashed. And it's just because of my nerves. I haven't even hardly eaten anything. And man, I get to John's studio. He's got this badass studio. And you go in, there's the lobby, and then he has a bathroom right there, and then you enter the studio. And we're getting ready to record, and John's real chill. He asked if I wanted water or drugs or anything, and I was like, no, I'm good. I might take a water. Because a lot of shit's legal in Vegas apparently, but I had to shit so bad. And so I went in there, and my stomach is trashed. And I take care of business, get out. And of course, John's like, I got to take a leak before we get started. So I'm like, oh, gosh. And he goes in there. John's a nice guy. He doesn't mention it. I know it had to be like a nuclear waste zone in there. We do the podcast. Well, we had a deal where I did his and then he did my show. And dude, I mean, me and John could have talked for a while, but I had the screaming pains hitting me about an hour.
Bullets.
Oh, dude, I was in trouble. Like I was literally in my brain. I'm like, it's going to happen. I'm going to shit my pants. I'm doing this podcast. I am about to shit myself. And I powered through, got done, and I went straight in there and slaughtered John's bathroom again. And he had like a care package to give me, and he was like, all right, man, appreciate it. He was like, man, hang around. I don't remember who it was. He's like, some so-and-so's coming in about 30 minutes. He's a UFC fighter. You can hang out and meet him. I was like, man, I appreciate it, buddy. I got some other stuff lined up. And so I left and I went straight to the hotel. And I mean, I trashed the toilet again. Like my stomach was obliterated. So I told John later, because he would call me and talk. And I told him, I was like, dude, I was like, my stomach was trash when I did your show. And he just laughed. He didn't like ridicule me over it. But that's how bad my like travel anxiety is. So I hope that maybe it'll get better, but it seems to get worse.
See, I enjoy myself when I get somewhere. It's just when I'm getting ready to travel, like I do get excited. Like my wife doesn't do much of anything for like when we went to Glacier, last summer, like I booked our flights, where we were staying, like the couple of different tours we did, like the rental car, like I enjoy like that part of it, like sitting at the computer. Usually when I'm at the office and I've got a little bit of downtime, I don't know, I love the planning part because man, this is gonna be so much fun. We're gonna do this and this. But then there's the other part of the planning. It's like, okay, all right, I gotta make sure my schedule's blocked off at the office. That's pretty easy. But it's the farm, like, all right, which thankfully my buddy PJ, he watched over all the cows for me, and he's been great because it's gotten to where with him I just have to, I'll kind of make sure the cows are in. I don't want to go during calving season because that's a whole nother thing, or like right when we're weaning calves, or right when we've just bought a new group of calves. So we'll kind of do some strategic planning, make sure everything's relatively easy. But still, just like on that, because sometimes I'll think, man, we ought to go do this, and I'll be like, Yeah, no, that's well, my wife and kids want to go snow skiing. My wife and I love snow ski. We hadn't been in about 10 years, but it's like kids are old enough to go now. We need to go.
Yeah.
Well, crap. Spring break, is when a lot of people will go because it's usually the very end. Well, we're cabin during spring break.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, crap, we're going to have to go on Christmas break. Well, then that's when everybody and their brother is out there. And so I don't know. The farm, even though I got good people to watch stuff, that part of it, I have anxiety leading up. But once I get somewhere, I don't know. I enjoy it because I'll actually. I mean, I don't sleep in, but like, I mean, I get up at 5 o'clock every day right now.
Yeah.
Like heck, I can sleep till 6:30 or 7, like,
Yeah.
and not feel guilty about it. Like,
Well, I tell you, we went to Hot Springs here, whatever, a few days ago. Not a few
yeah,
months, a few days ago, a few weeks ago, before harvest, before harvest. And that's the first trip I've taken in a long time where I could stay a few more days. Like I've really enjoyed myself. And I have kind of learned that if I don't go away, I'm gonna find like it. I need to actually go away because if I am around here, then my brain is thinking of what all I need to do. But if I like go out of town, then I don't have the luxury of doing it because I'm out. And so that's kind of how I am. But I will tell you something funny, even more on the when I was in Vegas. So uh, I was there. I flew in Thursday. I was supposed to fly home on Sunday. So Thursday I fly in. I don't sleep. And Friday I do the podcast. The whole reason I went was to do the podcast. And like I said, John tried to get me to go to the NFR. I was like, nah, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm good. I wish I would have because it turned out like the bulk of the Yellowstone cast was at the NFR that night. But because this was back when Yellowstone was still really rocking and rolling. And so, man, that Friday, I'm driving around in Red Rock Canyon. I go over there, Red Rock Canyon, after I've had all my explosive diarrhea. Like I go and ride around Red Rock Canyon, and all I'm just ready to go home. Vegas, I'm gonna tell you, Vegas is a cool place, but it's just not very fun by yourself.
no,
And
I don't know that I could go by myself.
yeah,
Vegas, and I've been 4 or 5 times. I had a buddy that described it to me like this: like there's no other place I'm so excited to get to, but then also so ready to leave.
yeah, yeah,
Like I think 3 nights, which I'm a shorter vacation guy because of the farm
same,
primarily. Like
same,
5 to 6 nights is like my max that I want to go anywhere.
yeah,
Vegas, I think after about 3 nights, and of course, it's typical. You want to get there and overdo it. You which I'm not a partier. Like we ain't hitting like the clubs, but you know, gambling, you're drinking, you're going out and eating steak dinners, costing you $300 or $400 for a couple to eat.
yeah.
Yeah, I can't afford to do that 7 nights in a row. And you could obviously take it a little easier and eat somewhere much more low key. But I'm also like I'm only there for 2 nights, three
Yeah.
nights. We're gonna eat at 2 or 3 nice restaurants while we're here,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Well,
But yeah, it doses like you can take it in a small dose, and then you need to get out. I mean, it's Sin City. Like but again, I don't get near as wild out there as I'm sure some people do. But yeah,
oh, dude. Well, that was me. I mean, like I went around, which again, it was a great time for me to be there because it was the NFR week. So it was actually guys like me. Like that's what John at his podcast, he was like, "You picked the best time to come here." He was like, because literally there's farmers and
oh,
ranchers here.
well, because my wife does every time I've been once on a bachelor party, and then every other time it's been she and I. And I'm trying to think. I don't even think because we go out. There's a big veterinary convention, but I think every time I've been out there for the veterinary convention, I have not met like any of my buddies that from vet school out there.
Yeah.
And so it's just been the two of us. And she's like, I just don't like Vegas. It's just different. Especially if you're not into gambling.
Yeah.
Which neither one of us really are. I'll bet on sports depending on the season. Uh, But I'm like, but it's during the rodeo. I was like, you're going to the rodeo, and it's
Well, the
in
rodeo
Vegas.
is
You're
in
not
town.
going to Vegas.
Yeah,
But
it's
hey, hilarious story. My parents, so that veterinary convention is out there every year about the same time. One year it overlapped with the NBA All-Star game. They were in Vegas during NBA All-Star weekend, and I don't know. A lot of our audience doesn't. Well, they have met my dad.
yeah,
Episode
yeah,
200. As you probably gathered if you listen to that episode, NBA All Star Game's really not his crowd.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I
Now,
think that may have been the year that Pac-Man Jones, who played for the Titans, like there was a shooting at the strip club that he was involved. Like,
yeah.
yeah, it's a. Again, I've never been to an NBA All Star game, but I would imagine that's a pretty different crowd
Well,
than during the rodeo.
your dad has a habit of flying during funny times.
Yes, I know
We
where
were
you're going with this.
we were talking about that today, me and Dad and Brock, because we were reminiscing of the WWE, WWF days, and Big Bob, Bobby Lee's dad, flew on the airplane with Kane and the Undertaker.
Yeah, he sat
They,
right next to the Undertaker.
yeah, it was a bunch of the WWF. This would have probably been WWF before it was
Yeah,
WWE.
this was probably 15 years ago. Yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
while.
and we were talking about that because we were talking about old stuff, and that's what we were like. Bob flew with. That's what Dad was like. Yeah, Bob was on the plane with a bunch of them. And I was like, I remember him telling us that. So,
Well, that's not the story I thought you were going to say. This was probably been 3 or 4 years ago. It was during the summer, and one of his buddies that doesn't live here, but they like to meet up and go on vacation sometimes. They were like, well, let's go somewhere during the summer, get away. Let's go somewhere cool. Like, we don't go to the beach, somewhere it's going to be real hot. They're like, let's go to San Francisco. And during June.
oh gosh,
And again, not really their thing to be going to celebrate Pride Month.
yeah.
We gave them so much hell. They're like, oh yeah, it's a neat city, but yeah, there was a lot of shenanigans going on that
Wow,
none of
yeah,
them were really.
I can imagine. So, well, see, that's what I did. I booked a flight home early. I was so ready to get out of there. I was driving, like I said, driving through Red Rock Canyon. I wasn't supposed to come home till Sunday, and I had grand illusions of what I was going to do. I rented a little shitty car. It was like a tiny little Ford SUV, like a little bitty car. And I got on the freeway, and I remember some people were like, "Man, you're gonna not like driving there." I didn't mind driving in Vegas, but I got on the freeway, and while I was driving, I saw like an exit to California. And I was like, you know what? If I stay, I had kind of made up my mind. If I was going to stay, then I was going to drive Saturday. I was going to drive into California. It was like a 3-hour drive. And I was like, I'm right here, 3 hours. I'm going to drive into California. But dude, I was driving through Red Rock Canyon and I was so homesick. Like I texted Marcy or I called her and I was like, I'm going to book a flight home early. And she was like, don't do that. Like, and I'm like, I'm ready to go home. I was like, I'm about to drive this rental car home all 23 hours or
I was
whatever.
about to say.
And so I booked a flight. The flight, because this made me think you were talking about it being Christmas. This was December 12th or 13th time frame. And again, I can't sleep. I don't sleep. So I'm in the hotel. It was the Luxor Casino is where I was staying. And my flight was at 5:30 in the morning. And I go in there and I try to go to bed. And it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Again, I'm just laying there. I'm like, I'm not going to sleep. And so I returned the rental car at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I went to the airport. I got there probably 2 o'clock. And I'm going through the airport. I tell Marcy this story like at Christmas because, again, I'm so homesick, man. I'm just dying to get home. And as I'm walking through, it's December, mid-December almost. So they've got all the Christmas decorations in the airport. It was a ghost town. But I'm walking through there at 3 o'clock in the morning. And I get like, I'm going through and I just never forget the song, I'll be home for Christmas. It's like blasting. And I'm like, I'm never going to get home. Like, I remember like in my head. I was like, I'm never going to make it home for Christmas. And it was like December 13th or something. Like, hell, I could have walked home from Vegas before
Yeah.
Christmas if I had left. But, dude, yeah, that was actually one of the only times I gambled because I got to my airport bay or whatever at like
To your gate.
2 hours early. And in Vegas, there's literally slot machines everywhere.
Oh yeah.
And so I had like $20 and I just played the slot machine. I lost $20 like super fast. That was about the extent of my gambling, but I flew my ass back home and couldn't get home quick enough. I remember driving through Memphis. Marcy came and met me at the airport. I remember driving through Memphis, this pothole-ridden city, and seeing like the Memphis police with like their blue lights riding by, and I'm like, damn, it's good to be back home.
Yeah. Well, you talking about getting a rental car out there? We've never gotten a rental. We've always just flown in and we just Uber around.
Yeah.
But we did when I went on the bachelor party. We drove an RV out there.
Was that that was?
So I guess I have driven an RV around Vegas, but
Yeah.
not never actually a car.
That was
But yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting on all kinds of levels.
Wasn't that for Parker?
Yep.
Yeah, y'all tried to get me to go on that one, but I just couldn't go.
That was an experience. A bunch of dudes driving an RV 24 hours to Vegas. We drove it nonstop there and back. We stopped at the Grand Canyon on the way out there, but for like 2 hours, we didn't like stop and spend the night anywhere. We just drove it straight through.
Yeah, a few beers were probably consumed.
A few.
Yeah.
We real quickly realized we were gonna have to slow down the beer drinking because the septic tank or whatever on the RV was. Right, we're gonna have to stop and dump this thing way too frequently if we keep going through beer like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
we had it all planned out. We knew who was driving when, Yeah. I drew the short straw and I was the last man to drive going.
Oh man.
So
you had to stay kind
we
of
left on like a Wednesday afternoon. And so, again, it takes about 24 hours plus we stopped at the Grand Canyon. And so we're getting ready to get into Vegas Thursday afternoon. Of course, everybody's wound up, bachelor party, we're going to party. Hell, I was only sober when we got there because I had to drive that last, like 4 or 5 hour stretch.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I had a late start on everything. Well, they were really getting into rare form, pounding the beers before we got there. But coming back, I was the first one to drive. We drove it in reverse order, so
there you go.
I
You
drove
had
that first leg, and then I could drink and sleep and whatever the rest of the way.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell you, a place that if you hadn't been, that I encourage you guys to go to. And I loved it. I could never live there. I've said this a bunch, and I could never live there. But New York City is a really cool place. Like I tell people, like especially if you like history, because there's some really cool history in New York City. But I really liked it. I thought New York was pretty awesome. Have you been to Times Square?
I never have. It's another one of those trips I've like planned out like tentatively a few times, and we never do it. I don't know.
You would like the history side of things, especially like the 9/11 museum is something pretty awesome to see. I mean, we went through a few museums we saw, and I liked it. I kind of nerded out from the movie buff of me because, you've seen so many movies and stuff's filmed here and there. And like we went into Central Park and we could see the building. We're in Ghostbusters. It was like Ghostbusters 1 or 2. They fight the big, I guess it's the big marshmallow man or something, I think, in there. And like it's where they're at. And so I loved all that. And the cool thing I liked in New York is we walked everywhere. Now, we took a taxi to like the 9/11 memorial. It was pretty cool though. We got lost. We went into the New World Trade Center, and I don't think you're supposed to. Me and Marcy were walking. We thought we were going into like the museum, and we went down into this thing, and we're walking up these stairs, and we start passing like everybody in there had a briefcase. And then we passed a couple of guys with AR-15s, and I was like, told Marcy, I was like, I don't think we're in the right place. And like finally, I think I asked somebody, and they're like, oh man, no, this ain't the museum. Like this is actually like this is the trade center. Like we were going into the actual like where you go to work. So we left and went back out. But man, I love New York. And hell, I talked to people. Marcy would get mad at me. I'd be walking by, I'd be like a homeless guy, and I'd be like, hey man, I'd talk to them. And dudes, this was back when people still listened to CDs because people were trying to like give you their mixtapes and stuff. And man, I'd talk to them, and I don't know. I encourage guys to go. Like it's a cool place.
Yeah.
It was snowy. We went in January. It was snowy when we went, but yeah, it's pretty cool. So
Yeah, that's one place I'd like to, I mean, visit at some point, but I don't know. The redneck in me is like, it's the crime and it's too liberal now. And I don't know.
the crime shit. We're Memphians basically out here. We can, the crime's nothing.
No, you're probably right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably safer than, where I was taking my son to the hospital 2 weeks ago.
There you go. Yeah. Well, I'll get the man queued up. Do you got one tonight?
I can do one. Just as I'm sitting here and I just look down, and we've probably done this one before. I'd be surprised if we hadn't.
All right, hold on. Let me get it queued up here. Let me see. I don't know where my mic is. All right, here we go.
Let me start off with 2 words. Made in America.
All right. 2 words. Made in America. Bobby Lee's looking. Sounds like bullets. Oh, yeah, man. Hornady, yes.
Yeah, look there. Not surprising that our ammo is manufactured. Yeah. Well, I just happened as I was sitting down. So I've got my father-in-law passed away almost 2 years ago now, and my wife and her brother, divided everything, and I ended up, or my wife did, with some of his guns, and got a 7 mag of his, and we're getting ready to go on a mule deer hunt here in a couple of months, and I was like, it'd be pretty cool to take his rifle.
Yeah.
So I still hadn't shot it yet, but I had to ordered a bunch of ammo the other day, and I just happened to look down. I was like, look at there, Made in USA, shining right up at me as we were getting ready to record. So
yeah,
Hornady. I don't know. We probably have done them before, but dang good ammunition. Again, I have not actually shot that 7 mag. I've shot countless rounds of their ammo through other firearms though.
My go-to, for my 270 is that Hornady Superformance.
Which, if I move out of the way here, you can see my reloading bench.
Looks like it's being used a lot lately.
Yeah. I did a little reloading there for a while. I've killed several deer, and I think my first elk with some hand loads, but I've not had the time to really be. I don't shoot near as much as I should anymore. Much less.
We're studious, man. Look, I got the bookshelf behind me.
Well, my books are all on my nightstand. In my wife's office right next door, she's got a closet with all kinds of bookshelves.
I got the bookshelf, and then I protect it with the 300 blackout.
This is the trunk monkey.
Oh, let's see it.
Hold on. Yeah.
What's it? Okay, that's the Q. Is that a Q?
No. It's the trunk monkey from
Palmetto? PSA?
Sons of Liberty Gunworks.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, this one is.
That's a good one to keep in the vehicle.
Yeah.
That is a brace, not a stock. So.
Of course. Well, that's how it is. Yeah, this is a brace as well.
Yeah, same thing on this one.
Yeah, you need your suppressor on that thing.
Well, and I got one that I can put on it, but yeah.
Dude, I'm a believer, man. I love them. Yeah.
That's my coyote killer. I keep that in the Jeep with me a bunch just because it's so compact.
Yeah. Oh, man, this one, Levi was pretty pumped. We had beavers out there on the beaver farm, getting where our sunflower field was.
Yeah,
And
that's why they had to cut the levee.
yep. And so me and Dad and my son went down there one night. And behind me right here, again, this episode is really, our video listeners are really getting a lot of better information. But this vest right back here that's a Haley Strategic, I think. And I think we've done them before. It's made in USA. And I don't get to wear that. Like, that's like a tactical mag holder. And so I kind of got to pretend to be a soldier one night because Dad was like, "Hey, we got some beavers out here. Let's go see if we can shoot some." So I was like, "All right." So I put on that vest. I took this 300 and took subsonic rounds, and like with this, I put the big suppressor on there. And dude, of course, we get there and there's no beavers. But
Yep.
I had to just shoot it a couple of times just so Levi could hear it. And it was awesome because, like, with a 300 blackout subsonic suppressed, you can like hear the action cycle, and then you hear like the thud, like when the bullet hits. Like, I love it, man. I'm like addicted to it. But yeah, I think my subsonic rounds might even be Hornady's.
Yeah.
So Hornady's, I'm a big believer in Hornady. Their match ammo is really good. I shoot it like on the long range stuff.
Yeah.
Match ammo. So we did have a question I wanted to highlight on here real quick. Now that we got on this gun talk real fast, Matt commented on our YouTube video and was asking, because we talked about getting a gun and carrying, being prepared.
Oh yeah, he did. I saw that too.
Yep. So I'll tell you, I've talked to other guys that have asked me about because I carry generally appendix inside the waistband, and
Yeah, I'm the same.
yeah, I mean, and it's, I'm a thicker dude, but like I don't have much. I don't have a lot of belly, but like after I eat and I'm real full, like it can be kind of full on my belly there, but if I gotta carry somewhere and I need it to be like, if it's in the wintertime, sometimes I'll carry at 3:00, like, on your hip kind of, and I'll have
I've never been able to do that. I think my damn hips are too bony.
Man, even on inside the waistband. Well, now you got to go up a pant size.
Well, yeah, a lot of my pants are a little bit too big now anyway, since I had to change my diet.
Well, that's true. You still can't do it. See, I like
it. And I would tell this to anybody. When you first start carrying, especially inside the waistband,
it's uncomfortable.
It's going to suck for about a week. Because I remember when I first started, and I used to carry, I guess, it'd be like at like 5:00, over basically right over my wallet on my back pocket. And I remember there were a few days where I was like, I'm going to take this pistol and just chunk it. Like, it's so uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden one day I'm like, I don't even notice it anymore.
Yeah.
So you got to stick with it for a few days. My thing is I need to be able to tuck most of the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm, business casual at work. Appendix has been good for me. I carrying at like 5:00. The thing that worried me there is it's behind you.
Yeah.
Like if somebody ever knew you were carrying, could come up behind you without you ever seeing them, and
That'd be good. Yeah.
They're not going to get it off me appendix unless I'm unconscious or dead.
Yeah. No, I like appendix. I'm faster drawing appendix than anywhere. Like
I would think so. Yeah.
I've drawn from 3:00 and I draw from appendix, and it's just so much faster because it's just straight up and out.
Well, I feel like appendix, you're really concealed too. Like,
yeah.
I mean, like if it's anywhere else, like if you're bending over, people are gonna see the print of it.
I've seen dudes that carry like you say about 5:00, and their shirt has hung on their gun before, and
and they don't even know it. Yeah.
And their gun is just flashing the world. And I want people to not know that I got a gun. And now wintertime is the best because, hell, man, in the wintertime, sometimes I carry in a shoulder holster. If I'm wearing a jacket, I just don't take the jacket off, and I got the shoulder holster. And hell, I mean, you just that's nice. You don't have to conceal.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
like,
that's what I'm not a big open carry guy. I mean,
yeah,
I respect. I think we should have that right, but yeah, I think that's kind of defeating the purpose. I don't want any kind of bad person to know who's carrying and who isn't.
yeah. If I'm a
But
back,
I'll carry yeah outside the waistband during the wintertime because heck, even with just a hoodie on, you can pull your hoodie over it and like you can
yep,
go fully concealed even outside the waistband during the wintertime. So wintertime is nice for concealed carry.
yep, it is. But I do, like I said, Bobby Lee hit the point on the head there. Like my buddy Philip, he's a gun guy. He trains guys. And that's what he's always said. He's like, you are attaching a chunk of metal to your body. Like it's going to be uncomfortable. Like you're going to feel that. But he always urges you to carry the largest gun that you can manage to conceal and comfortably your comfort level carry. Because, some guys, when I first started carrying, I carried a little bitty 380, and it was like, it's a tiny little 380. And like at progressively throughout the years, like now I used to carry that SIG P365, but now I've been carrying my Glock 48. After all this latest little crazy stuff, hell, I got a Glock that's a single stack, so it's skinny, but I got shield arms. I did a shield arms shout out on one of our Made in USA, and I carry 20 rounds. It's got a 20 round mag. And so, man, he who has the most firepower wins is what our good buddy
Yeah.
Mr. Tim told me one time. So I believe in it. So I carry that. But yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable. But I would urge you, if you got a belly, I understand. Like appendix is not particularly very comfortable if you have a belly. I would try to get used to carrying 3 o'clock. Yeah, behind your back, I feel like it's pretty vulnerable. So I would try to go for like 3 o'clock, but you
Yeah,
probably gonna have to go up a
yeah.
pan.
And I used to carry a little Kel-Tec 32.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the same thing. And I've still got that gun, and it's super concealable. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I can put it in my pocket, like, but it's just kind of like, man. And I know they say most shootings are pretty much point blank range anyway. I
yeah,
don't need to be that close to hit anything, and then you're probably going to need to hit whatever it is multiple times, center
yeah,
mass to stop it too. So
yeah,
I definitely like carrying at least 9 millimeter.
yeah. There you go. Well,
And
guys, check out Hornady. Also, you need to check out Tractor Mat. Go to tractormat.com. Get your mat made in USA for your combines, your tractors. Check them out. They got all kinds of brands available. And also, you look
well,
at
what's the code for Tractor Mat? Talk Dirt.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Talk Dirt, all caps, all one word.
15% off.
Yep.
Yep. Agzaga.com. The discount code there is TalkDirt20. That's $20 off, $50 order, and free shipping. All the good stuff. Check them out.
Yep. There you go, guys. Guys, hit that like button, hit subscribe, comment below what you think Bobby Lee's first name was on this episode.
Yeah, Logan gave me about. I'm so glad you admitted to that because I was like, dude, somebody has hacked into our.
I could tell it
our
was,
feed.
if I didn't admit to it, like at first I was like, I'll never admit to it. But then I was like, this is going to seriously haunt him if I don't admit to this. So
Well, like I was already planning. I was like, we're gonna have to talk after we get off, like figure out, like somebody has hacked into his, like. But anyway,
oh man. Well, guys, do that. Leave us 5-star ratings. Spotify, Apple, leave us those ratings and share this with your friends. And we will catch you next week.
see y'all then.